Is Jordan Pickford taking the goal kick?
He played out to Maguire there.
That's into Trent Alexander-Arnold, who actually takes someone on.
He's crossed it into Kane here,
Kane has fallen over again.
but it's led Saka on the right. He's got the ball.
Saka puts the ball in.
And there's Ben Mee arriving at the back post.
Scorpion kick!
Ben Mee has fucking scored.
Ben Mee. We've had a complaint.
Yeah, no hot food anymore.
So we are currently going to order cold food. Is it
What
hot?
doesn't make sense? Right, okay, we're banned because hot food leaves a smell, right?
Sure.
But big thumbs up to a tuna sandwich.
True.
That makes sense, doesn't it? Do you know what? If there's like salt beef gherkin bagel, that is quite rogue for me, but I could really back that.
Salt beef, gherkin and mustard bagel. That is
There you go. It's a good bagel. That's the combo.
that is the first thing I saw. Okay. Episode 3. Welcome to the Bottle Job Podcast. My name is Rimedi.
I'm Toby.
And we usually dissect the groups from A to H. So we've done Group A on Monday's podcast. Today we're doing Group B, England's group.
England's group. And we've touched on England before, but how do we fare? I think we're going to fare rather in this group because we didn't really touch on that.
That's true. We have different mechanics on the show, such as 99 Potential, where we describe a kid going from, like I said, a novice, an amateur, to a hero in the World Cup.
We've got 20-second vision where we're going to try and predict the future as best we can.
And we have Avit, the section of the show where we have a very controversial take, but we try not to get cancelled. And like I said in Monday's podcast, if we do get cancelled, I apologise.
But this group, I think we've been niced.
You think so?
I do, yeah. I know there's no easy game in that group, but we are the best team in that group. If we're honest, if we look at all the quality that's there's no excuse for England not to top that group, I don't think.
Did you know that if you took the average FIFA position in the world rankings for each of the teams, England actually have the hardest group?
Really? What, in terms of just all four teams being at a decent level? Yeah, okay, I hear that.
I think USA are in the top 30, Iran are 20th, and who was the other team?
We've got Wales knocking around.
Wales, yes.
Wheel out Gareth Bale and Ramsey.
Exactly, and that's a good team. That's a good group as well. So, yeah, it's tough for England.
Well, and also there's a bit of, I feel like USA, England has got a bit of, they've got something to prove.
Yeah,
we discovered them all those years ago.
It's true.
And then you've got Wales, where Wales don't like England. I think that's just facts. I don't really blame them either, but I don't know what to go with them around because at the moment we don't really know. It's touch or go whether they're going to be at the World Cup. I've heard rumours of Ukraine replacing them.
See, how do you feel about that? Because, like, okay, cool.
On footballing merit, it doesn't really make much sense, doesn't it? Because Ukraine had their chance in that sense, but from they're trying to position themselves to look like they're doing something really nice. I get it, but
yeah, because like if you guys don't know, Iran are like in hot water with FIFA because according to the Ukrainian, but I don't want to sound like I'm a bozo talking out of my ass.
We're in deep water here.
Yeah, but apparently they have been shipping off Russian missiles and they've been part of the bombardment of Ukraine. So they're...
Well, just like Russia have been frozen out of a lot of things in football, it might be something similar over here.
Exactly. So when it comes to Iran, we don't know what's going to happen, but we're just going to assume on the show that Iran are going to be in the group and everything's hunky-dory with them. So if we want to tap into Iran quickly, what do you think about them?
Well, funnily enough, I mean, as you'll get to know, everything comes back to being revolved around the Chelsea. This is what happens. But there are two players within this Iran squad that I've had to witness score bicycle kicks against Chelsea. And that's Taremi, who is an outrageous goal scorer, starts with Porto. I mean, this season I saw alone, 14 games, he's had 9 goals, 7 assists. So he's in the form of his life. Very decent player. He scored a bicycle kick.
I actually really like Mehdi Taremi. I know some Porto fans and they always say that he's one of our most consistent players. He's always turns up for us. Even in the Champions League that year against Juventus, he was really good.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Arsenal were linked with him as well.
Yeah, and even for Iran, he's reliable. I think he's 28 goals in 60 games, so he's going to be their talisman for this World Cup. And then I'm going to have a go at this. Don't hate me, Iranian fans, if I get this wrong, but Jahanbakhsh. Yeah, he was at Brighton, and he also bagged a bicycle kick against us. So I don't know what it is with bicycle kicks and these Iranian players, but they love scoring them against Chelsea.
Yeah, he's playing for Feyenoord right now. I don't think he's had the best of seasons so far, but I think when you're playing for your country, everything is different. But when it comes to Iran, they are known for their defence.
Yeah.
Carlos Queiroz is the manager.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's been a Real Madrid manager. He worked under Fergie. He
was also the Iran coach at the 2014 World Cup.
Yeah.
And they were so resolute, so hard to beat. And that's how they got into the World Cup. Because did you know that in their World Cup group, it was with South Korea as well. They finished above South Korea and they got
Son, yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So it's a team that is very hard to beat. They ended up getting 8 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. And yeah, Iran are very difficult to beat. And if we touch it back to England, how do England break Iran down? Because that's going to be the first match of the World Cup for England.
If I know England right, which I think I do at this point, 1-0, 78th minute, Kane Penn.
I was going to say...
Yeah, like, what else is
I was going
to
to say 74th
mate?
minute, but yeah. I think when it comes to, try to see how England are going to break Iran down, it's actually...
We're not, yeah, Penn.
It's going to be practically impossible. It'll be like a handball, it'll be a pen, it'll just be a fluky decision. I just feel
maybe a corner. What happened also, I was going to say this the other day, but with England, remember at the 2018 World Cup when we had that train going on?
Oh,
Where's that gone? I feel like I haven't seen the train since that World Cup, and it was really effective.
I don't know right now. I think, the train is...
I loved that train.
Yeah.
It was like this big row of players.
I was
charged.
as you were speaking, I was trying to think of a train joke, but I had no jokes coming into my head that were appropriate. So I just feel...
Oh, wow, yeah, we're not running any trains on Maguire, I think. Yeah.
Pause. What's going on, bro?
Maguire just gets me thinking a whole different kind of way, man.
But anyway, I just feel like, that train situation, it just stopped. I think everyone just clocked onto it. Yeah, I don't think that
Hopefully
train
we've got something else up our sleeve.
Yeah, it could be like, I don't know, a plane or...
Yeah, the plane. Plane tactic.
Or a tram or something like that. Yeah, so I just feel like, England are going to find Iran very hard to break down. And with the quality of players like Jahanbakhsh on his day...
Taremi.
I just want you to say on his day. Because
on his day, yeah. I mean,
if you guys don't know, Toby made this viral video of Pogba on his day, and it was unbelievable. It was so good.
Yeah, I think... proud moment. Wow, they've managed to cross the street in that time.
All right, the food is here, so we're gonna ask the delivery driver what he thinks about England's chances in Group B is. So over to you, Jeff.
Is it for me? Bagel?
Sorry?
Bagel?
Yeah, Ahmed.
Yeah, brother, I've got a question for you.
We had to cut away from him because the delivery driver had some very controversial things to say.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to get cancelled that quick.
No, not at all.
He thought it was the Abbott section, I think, didn't he?
There you go.
Yeah.
You're a pro at this. But okay, so before we were interrupted by Jeff on the touchline, can you even stop Gareth Bale on his day?
No, you can't. When Gareth Bale's on it, he's on it. And with Wales, he tends to be on it more than any others. I mean, it's Wales, Golf, Madrid, as we know, that order.
It's actually now Wales, Golf, LA. If you want.
Yeah, it is, to be fair. Yeah, Madrid's very far down on that list.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw it was quite interesting when he went to LA, his first interview in Spanish. And obviously the whole time in Spain, they've been taking the piss out of Bale because he couldn't really speak a word of Spanish.
Right.
It turns out, his Spanish is more than okay.
Yeah, I like Casemiro, Sergio Ramos, Marcelo, all the time when they were getting interviewed about Gareth Bale, they were like, this guy speaks amazing Spanish, he just doesn't want to chat to you guys.
The media had it in for him from day one and he was just not having it, really, was he?
It's true, but if you look at the Welsh team, how do you think they're going to fare in the World Cup? Because, look, Wales, I think, when it comes to their star players in terms of Gareth Bale, Aaron Ramsey, might be their last one.
Well, 2016, like, the job they did was actually, phenomenal in terms of getting to the semi-finals. It was unheard of at the time. I'm trying to think how Robson Kanu, that Cruyff turn goal. I mean, will he be on the plane? I don't think he will be on the plane. Yeah, was he at West Brom quite recently, I feel?
No, he does podcasts now.
Oh, we'll get him on. Come on. Robson Kanu, if you're not on the plane, get on here.
It's true. I just feel like Gareth Bale for Wales, he's just a different beast. Yeah. Like, he literally carried Wales on his back to the World Cup. Like, in the qualifying phase, in the playoff round, I think, was it not against Ukraine?
Yeah, he sort of defrosts himself and just takes some free kicks and then end up getting to another tournament.
And he, like, all the goals that Gareth Bale scores, I can't think of, like, a bad goal.
Doesn't score bad goals, that man, does he? Not in the slightest.
It's like Olivier Giroud from that standpoint. Like, if you were to show someone Gareth Bale's highlight reel, how amazing would that be?
Oh my God! If you showed Giroud and Bale, you'd immediately say those two must have been the Messi and Ronaldo of that generation.
100%. And someone like Aaron Ramsey as well, seeing him week in, week out for Arsenal, he has that. Pep Guardiola said this about Gundogan, it's the smell to get into the box and to score goals. And like your GOAT, Frank Lampard, Aaron Ramsey had that.
Yeah.
And getting into the box, scoring goals, even though he's not playing so well at Nice at the moment, he's in and out of the team, injuries, etc. I just feel that on his day, Aaron Ramsey is one of them guys that you cannot stop in the box. He just always finds the space, and complimenting players like Brennan Johnson, Nico Williams, Ethan Ampadu, players that are young, but they provide that exuberant energy for Wales that could really take them up a level in the World Cup. So for England's perspective, how do you think they're going to fare against Wales?
I think it's going to be tough. It's always going to be tough against home nations when it comes to UK. I mean, we saw Scotland in the Euros, got their draw. That was their final. Wales are not going. They're going into the World Cup similarly to Scotland at the Euros. They're not going to win the thing, but if they can stop England from winning it, that is their win. And I think Wales are always going to be a tough ask for us. I mean, I know Sturridge got that last-minute winner in the Euros.
What a game that was!
Yeah, that was some game. But again, Bale.
I have a funny story
kick.
about that game.
Yeah, go on.
Imagine I had my physics GCSE that day. Like, I remember I was revising for it and I was watching the England game at the same time. But then I went into the exam hall. Like, England were 1-0 up. And then, no, Wales were 1-0 up after Gareth Bale scored the free
Joe
kick.
Hart kind of thing.
Yeah. I came out, I looked at my phone. It was when Sturridge scored that goal.
Wow.
And it was crazy. Like, everyone in the exam hall was like going crazy.
Everyone getting done for cheating.
No. It was just after the exam ended. Everyone was going crazy.
With the examiners outside, I always remember they go like, shh.
Yeah.
Everyone's done. Everyone's done the exam.
Like the people that had extra time, like, okay, you have extra time. Nice, congratulations. But I didn't. And we were all celebrating outside. So if you had extra time in that physics exam,
yeah, you missed out.
You missed out. But there's someone that you wanted to touch on for your 99 potential.
99 potential is our version of FIFA Journeys, but, well, good.
The scout section is where we identify young players who've had a rocky road to Qatar, but they will go from kid to GOAT.
Right, so I'm going with my 99 potential, a boy called Nico Williams. I mean, he was at Liverpool in the summer, but has moved now to Nottingham Forest, £17 million deal, so quite a lot of money, especially for a left-back. But he really impresses me. Maybe there's a bit of recency bias there. I just thought the job he did on Salah at the weekend was really superb. He's a really solid player, good going forward. I know he was at Fulham in the Championship last year, and he was bombing down that wing. I have a very good friend who is a Fulham fan, and he was really impressed by the guy, especially good going forward. There was a game where he bagged 2 in one game. He has 2 goals for Wales already, so at the age of 21, that's nothing to be sniffed at. And I think he's going to be a really good player at this World Cup. He will he'll solidify Wales, but also give them a bit of threat going forward. So he's going to be mine.
That's an interesting point. I think Nico Williams, everyone called him like the baby Trent, and obviously now that he's at Nottingham Forest, it's not the same because Trent is in very bad form right now for Liverpool. But I think what is so good about Nico Williams as well is that he can play as a winger if you want him to.
Yeah.
Because he's so forward thinking, he's so on the front foot, and having a front line of maybe Nico Williams, someone like Brennan Johnson, Gareth Bale leading the line up front, I think that's a really cool strike for us to have. Against the bigger teams, I think they can hit them on the counter attack.
Yeah.
Against like an Iran, for example, Wales will find it really hard to break them down because, Iran are super hard to break down. Like Messi had to score an unbelievable goal in the 2014
was some goal though, wasn't it?
World Cup against Iran to finally score against them. And if Messi and Argentina in the 2014 World Cup are struggling against Iran,
You're going to need a Bale free kick, aren't you?
exactly. So I think for them, their front line is going to be who is the difference makers and players like I said, Aaron Ramsey as well that can arrive in the box and finish. Yeah, Wales have a very nice team, and I forgot the name of the Welsh manager. Do you know the coach?
I know it's not Giggsy. That's about it. I can't remember the guy's name, to be honest. I just know it's not
bold guy.
It's not Giggsy
He's the
anymore.
bold guy. But yeah, he is a great coach for Wales, and I just think that he's going to be one that can, I don't know, manage expectations for the country, but also deliver on the Welsh promise of succeeding. And so the Welsh promise.
I think it's just to get a result against England. That's got to be their aim.
You messed up my segue.
Sorry, go on then.
There's a Welsh promise, but there's also an American dream.
That was smooth, and I fucked it. I
You messed it up.
all
You messed
man.
up my like.
Apologies for that, guys.
I planned it. I
robbed
planned
you
it
of
on
a
the train.
moment.
Oh, it's
That was
annoying.
beautiful, and I've just shat all over your dreams,
It's
but not the
okay.
American one. There we go.
Fair enough.
Recovered
Fair
it a
enough.
little bit.
All right.
So who are you going with for your 99 potential then?
My 99 potential is Giovanni Reina, the player, the winger, the forward for Dortmund. And I have a very interesting story that he posted in his Players Tribune. So he had an older brother named Jack. And when Jack was 11 years old, he ended up getting brain cancer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So what happened was Gio Reyna, he was growing up. He used to play in the garden with his brother Jack. And if you guys don't know, obviously you guys know.
Dad's City legend.
Exactly. Claudio Reyna also played for New York Red Bulls as well. But what a really cool moment was is so as Jack was getting ill and not doing so well, it was that 11-12 Premier League season. You know, that Aguero moment.
Wow. Okay.
So they're all City fans because that's where their dad
Yeah.
played for. So Giovanni Reina, Jack Reina, Claudio Reina, and all the family, they came around together to watch the QPR versus Man City game in 2012. And what happened was, like, obviously QPR scored, everything happened. But in that moment when Aguero scored, everyone was celebrating. But Jack ended up in that moment getting incredibly poorly.
Oh, wow.
And he couldn't communicate. He was on the floor. He was shaking, etc., etc. And then he got up celebrating as well. Jack was with them as well. He was
Yeah.
like, it was like a moment, but Jack was very ill in that time. But Claudio Reyna and Gio Reyna especially were able to share that moment with their brother and their son. And unfortunately, Jack passed away about 9 weeks after that. But for them as City fans to really share that moment,
That's like a lasting moment. Yeah.
exactly, and that's what they think about when they see Jack Reyna or hear about Jack Reyna. And if we go into Gio Reyna's like footballing ability, he's one of the best young players in the world. Even though this season he's not had one of the best starts for Dortmund so far, he's in and out of the team, getting injured. I think if you look at the American team, Giovanni Reyna has it on his back. I think he's that good. He's a player that can come inside. He's a player that's tricky. He's one of your forwards that are very hard to stop when they're in the mood. So obviously Gio Reyna is still young. He's still 20, 21 years old. So eventually he's going to be put in a situation like such as the World Cup, which is perfect for us to segue onto where he needs to step up. So if I ask you, Toby, how do you think America or the United States of America are going to do in the World Cup this year?
I think it's promising, or the most promising I've seen from a USA squad. Like we said, in the past, you've seen, Landon Donovan and friends. I mean, I know...
You need to put some respect on Clint Dempsey's name.
Yeah.
Fulham legend,
Yeah.
Tottenham legend.
I don't know where he's from, dog.
You don't know where I'm from, dog. You don't know where I'm from. Oh,
Yeah.
what a video.
Brian McBride. I'm trying to get my words out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, he was a decent player. And then, an array of keepers. Your Tim Howards,
Brad
your Brad Friedels, your Marcus Hannemans.
Brad
Casey
Guzan.
Taylor, Brad Guzan. Wow, we've got a lot of American keepers.
Do you think like there are so many American keepers because they're all so good with their hands?
Maybe their sports are more based
Yeah,
around that.
it's
So they've
true.
naturally grown up and they've gravitated towards football or soccer, as it's known.
It's true.
Yeah.
America have a very good crop of young players coming through.
Definitely. Like you said, the best we've seen. I mean, Pulisic, another player, he's the most expensive American player in history.
Sorry to interrupt you. As a Chelsea fan, because there's always this divide amongst Chelsea fans. Like I love Chelsea fans because there's always a civil war amongst.
Oh, we're not arguing with any other fan base. We're arguing with each other.
Like some Chelsea fans, they ride out for Mason Mount. Some hate Mason Mount. Some love Pulisic. Some hate Pulisic. So if I speak on Pulisic quickly, there's always this divide. English fans, they hate Pulisic. American fans, he's the LeBron James of soccer. How do you feel about him at Chelsea?
Do you know what the thing with Pulisic is? Like, he's so frustrating because he can be so great.
Yeah.
He can be awesome. I mean, if you remember
On his day.
he isn't on his day player. I mean, when he came back from COVID, when we had football like June to August, this guy was Eden Hazard with even more output. He was absolutely phenomenal, and I thought, wow, we've replaced Hazard seamlessly. This is perfect. And he gets quite a lot of injuries. And I think they've taken their toll, they've taken away that burst of pace that he has, and as a result, a lot of confidence. He hasn't been able to build up a run of consistency, and he hasn't really featured all that consistently. I mean, he's been deployed at wing-back at times with Tuchel. Even Potter quite recently played him at wing-back. But he's been okay when he's come on recently, which is a good thing. Pulisic in form is a really good player. The problem for him is maintaining that form. It is consistency, because there are a lot of games that sort of, he will go anonymous. You won't really notice him too much. But when he's on it, he's on it.
Do you think for some players, like when they play for their country, they're just a new man? Because Pulisic is another player for the United States. I think him.
We know he's LeBron James of soccer. As
You've got players like I said, Gio Reyna, and you have to speak on Brendan Aronson as well.
Yeah, definitely.
A Leeds player. He's doing his
I
well.
think the engine on that guy.
Yeah, what do you think about him? Because you know more about Brendan Aronson than me.
Yeah, I just, whenever I watch him, especially this season at Leeds, I can't say I've watched loads at Salzburg, but what I can say about Salzburg is they sign a lot of good players.
Exactly.
I mean, Haaland's come from there, so he can't be that bad. But I know that he's been known as no, it's not the Michigan Messi. It was something along those lines.
The Missouri Messi.
I'm not too clued up on my geography when it comes to America, but
Okay, I'll give you. It could be the Missouri Messi, the Michigan Messi, the Massachusetts Messi.
yeah, it's one of them, I think.
Yeah, it's one of them.
Yeah, but he's a very highly rated player. But it's more when I watch Leeds, and obviously Leeds are very, very pressing all over the pitch. I mean, Tyler Adams also in that American squad is part of Leeds' squad. But when I watch Aronson, the energy and engine on this boy, I just think he's relentless, and he's a really good asset for a team to have in terms of what he does off the ball, and maybe giving it to the likes of Reyna and Pulisic, who can be a bit more quality on it. So yeah, he's an interesting player.
We also speak about energy, Weston McKennie. Like Weston McKennie is one of Juventus's like workhorses, and I think when we
He's
look
got that dog in him.
you got that dog, bro. You got that dog in you. That was a very bad American.
Oh, that's right. I think we'll pass.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, Weston McKennie is another player that is really. He's one of the USA's biggest players in terms of his profile and what he does for America on the pitch. Another player who's very good at like shuttling the ball from side to side, carrying the ball forward, and then passing it on to, like you said, your Pulisic's, your Gio Reyna's. And then if we speak about Timothy Weah as well, George Weah's son.
Yeah.
It's doing well. It's doing well.
Not a bad player to be learning off.
Exactly. So, like from an English perspective, how do you think they're going to do against the USA?
It's going to be interesting. We're going to have to play some players who are pretty press resistant, put it that way, haven't they? 'Cause
Yeah.
they've just got bags of energy, this USA team.
It's
That's
true.
why they're going to be a problem. And even for Wales, like you said, as much as we're praising Ramsey and Bale, they are getting a little bit older and it'll be hard to keep up. They're a real whirlwind of a team.
And then if you like, maybe this World Cup might just come a bit too soon for the United States. But where is the next World Cup being held?
Yeah, you got USA, Mexico, and Canada all holding it.
Exactly. So in the North America World Cup, I think this World Cup might come just a bit too soon for America. But with more players coming through, like in the next 10, 15 years, America are going to be a world power.
Yeah,
well,
you got so
they
many
are a
players.
world power, but they're going to be
On
a
footballing
footballing
stage.
world power,
Yeah.
like China and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think America can do well. But now we must move on to the 20-second vision.
This is the part where we predict a fixture's future with the imagination of De Bruyne and the precision of Heskey.
What will the future hold with 20-second vision? So in my hand, I have the button, and I'm going to ask Toby, and he has 20 seconds to tell me what is going to happen between the USA and England. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, wow. So England versus USA, rematch of the 2010 World Cup group stage. You're going to have Aronson's going to burst through. He's going to be, well, actually, no, he's not going to burst through. Maguire's going to be on the ball. He's going to get pressed off the ball. He nicks it. He goes and scores. Touchdown. It is 1-0 to the US of A. Then you've got in the crowd that guy, I don't know if you've seen it, some team with like a chainsaw that chops wood in the crowd. It's a fan. It is a thing. You can throw it up there. And he's just going to go nuts. Oh, I've been cut off. But yeah, go check that video out because it is mental.
You got it in 20 seconds. You know what? I say fair enough. That was a
Take
very
it.
good
We'll take
prediction. All right, here you go, man.
All right. So your 20-second vision is England versus Iran.
England are going to be passing the ball from side to side to side. We are going to see Jordan Henderson putting up his hand and saying, what you do there, boy? Oh, that was a scouse accent.
He's a Jordan,
He's
mate.
oh, so bad
Bunch
for
of
me. That's a
squeaks.
howler. But yeah, Jordan Henderson's going to be passing the ball from side to side. He's not going to find anyone. He's going to be passing it into Rosette. The ball's going to come down to Harry Kane. He's going to dive. It is going to be 1-0 to England.
It's a classic
From a
recipe
penalty.
for an England win, though.
From a
that.
penalty. From a
Yeah.
penalty.
1-0 England. 1-0 England. Pen. It's the history of the England.
Yeah, it's the history of the England. But okay, as we're giving our predictions, how do you think the group is going to rank from 4 to 1?
See, that's where it's fascinating. We touched on it earlier in terms of it being a difficult group because all the teams aren't bad. There's no whipping boys in that team at all. Not team, rather group. But I can't see England not finishing first. I think we'd have to have a really poor group stage to not finish first in that. And I think 7 points would probably get you there.
Yeah.
I'd like to think we beat Iran, like you said, 1-0 pen. I think we'll beat Wales. As much as they'll be up for it, like you said, it's not the Gareth Bale and Ramsey of old. I think we'll have just enough. USA, it could be a draw in that game. I said that USA would score first in that 20-second prediction, but I think that might be a tough game. I think the other team to get out of the group will be the USA. I think they'll have just enough in them just to outwork Wales and maybe get a win there. Iran will be a tough game.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think Iran is going to be one of them games that it's going to be an eyesore of a match. We're just going to be like, I think the match is during the day as well, so you're going to be taking time off work to be watching England-Iran. I apologize in advance. But I think when it comes to that group, yeah, I'm going to tend to agree. I think Iran, I just don't think they have the quality going forward as the other teams do. So I think I'm going to go with Iran fourth. Now it's just between Wales and the USA. I want both teams to do well because I just feel like Wales are a team that everyone can get behind because they're the underdogs. But yeah, Wales versus America, that's just going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
That is going to be a very, very tough game. And I just feel like there'll be certain moments where Gareth Bale is going to shine because, again, Gareth Bale plays in America. He might know the players that he's playing against.
This is true.
And the Iranian players, a big majority of them still playing Iran. So the quality gap is going to be crazy.
Same.
Exactly. So to my American followers, I am very sorry you guys are finishing third. And England first and Wales second.
An early exit.
An early exit. But yeah, that might have been a controversial take, but this is the Avit section.
Avit!
Like Sunday League left backs, no room for nonsense, only Marmite.
These are our podcast's most outrageous takes without trying to be cancelled. So as Toby is munching down on his salt bagel that we got from across the street, wow, that is amazing timing.
Popped open.
That is amazing. That is unbelievable camera
It
work.
knew what you were talking about.
I know. But okay, my controversial take, my Avit section is that Harry Kane is not going to be the English top scorer.
Okay.
I just feel like aside from pens, the problem is with Harry Kane, he just doesn't create enough for himself. Like, I don't know, what other strikers create for themselves?
Tony does a bit.
Exactly.
Wilson with his run sort of does.
Exactly. And I just think that Harry Kane, if England don't get penalties, I just don't think he's going to be on the score sheet as much as we think. So my top scorer is going to be John Stones.
Wow. The train from the train?
John Stones on the Elizabeth line to Qatar, and he's going to be going crazy with his head.
Love that. Absolutely love that. Bring
Yeah.
back the train. But yeah, no, I rate it. I rate it. And funnily enough, it actually kind of ties into my Avit in terms of perhaps, Kane not having the most amazing amount of goals. My Avit is that the group's top scorer will not be Harry Kane either. It will be Taremi. As much as I've put them last in that group, I think he's going to score 3. So like 1 in each game. Or maybe not 3, maybe 2. But it's going to be quite a low-scoring group because I do think the games will be quite tough. And I just think, like you, I don't know how many goals Kane's going to score. I think our goals will come from set pieces, that sort of thing. And I back Taremi to be that guy because when I look at all 4 of those teams, he's the only one that's the guy. Wales, like Bale, I suppose, but Ramsey could get a goal. America, it's a bit more shared. Reina, Pulisic. But I think Taremi, because he's the spearhead of that attack, he's going to be the man. He's going to be the top scorer of the group, despite going out.
Yeah, before we wrap up, we just have to say something about Iran again. I just feel that, even though like football is one of the best things that we have, I just feel that with all the war going on in Ukraine and other countries around the world, I think, it's just something that's super sad. And if Iran are to miss out, what do you guys think, or who do you guys think should replace them? Because
Should it be Ukraine?
Yeah, some people saying Ukraine, some people saying it's the UAE because they were the next best team in the Asian qualifying. So who do you guys think? I just feel that if you're going to kick out Iran now, like surely it's a bit too late.
Yeah.
The World Cup starts next month. They had all this time. But I don't know, that's my opinion. What do you guys think? Let us know down below in the comments.
Lovely podcast again.
I've been Rimedi.
I've been Toby.
And make sure you follow us on all the socials. We're doing well on the TikTok. The TikTok is what I pay attention to.
Yeah.
And we're doing well on Instagram and all our social pages. So if you're listening on Spotify, by the way, please give us like a like or a 5-star rating. It really helps us.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. Thank you for listening, guys. Out!